Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the owner of seasonandserveblog.com. We are continuing my Lunar New Year series here on my channel, and today we are going to be making my chili oil noodles. You always have to serve a noodle dish for Lunar New Year, but it doesn't have to be complicated, and this recipe comes together with just a few ingredients in the amount of time it takes to cook the noodles. So if you want to see how I make my chili oil noodles, just keep on watching. We'll begin by making the noodles, and I'm just filling up a pot with some cold water, and then I'm going to place it on the stove and set it to high to boil. While the water is coming up to a boil, we'll prepare the rest of our ingredients, and here I'm beginning by chopping up some garlic. I really like garlic, so I use at least a minimum of 4 cloves in this recipe, but you can add as much or as little garlic as you want. And after I've chopped it up into small pieces, I'm just going to set it aside in a bowl for later. And next we're going to chop up some scallions, so I'm just cutting off the root ends of the scallions, and then I'm going to focus on cutting the white to the light green ends. I'm going to use my sharp knife to cut these into little rounds, and then I'm going to place it into the bowl with the garlic to save for later. And we're not discarding the dark green parts of the scallions. I'm going to cut these up as well, but I'm going to do it into 1-inch pieces so that you can see these in the noodles. Then once they're all chopped up, I'm going to set them aside for later. Since this recipe comes together so fast, I'm going to make sure to prepare my other ingredients. So here I have a bowl with a little bit of dried chili flakes and some white pepper, and I also have my chili oil here. If you like spicy food like me, I like to add a little bit of the chili flakes that have been saturated in the oil. They have quite a bit of heat and they add lots of flavor to the dish. So get that all ready, and then once everything is assembled, we'll go over to the stove to cook it. By this point, the water should be boiling, and now we're going to go ahead and add our noodles. And the noodles that I'm using in this recipe are some handmade wheat noodles that have these really beautiful frilly edges to the side, and that's a sign that you can tell that they're handmade. You can buy these dried at your Asian grocery store, or if you can't find these, you can just substitute these with other wheat noodles of your choice. So next we're just going to add the noodles into the pot, and we're going to give them a little bit of a stir just so that they can break up and they won't stick together. It doesn't say how long on this package to cook them, but I found that 4 minutes for these noodles is perfect. While the noodles are boiling, we'll prepare the chili oil sauce, and this comes together super quick and it'll be done before the noodles are finished cooking. I'm adding some vegetable oil to the pan, followed by the garlic and the ends of the scallions that we chopped up earlier. I'm going to fry the garlic and the scallions over medium-high heat for about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to add in the dried chili flakes and the white pepper. And finally, I'm going to add some of the chili flakes that have been sitting in the chili oil for some extra spice. Again, this is optional, but I highly recommend doing this if you have chili oil on hand. And then we're simply going to mix that in, and at this point the noodles should be done. So I'm just going to reduce the heat to low before I add the noodles in. Next I'm going to add the noodles into the pan, and I don't bother draining the entire pot. I just use some tongs to pull out the noodles and add them into the pan. Once all the noodles have been added, just toss it all together, and then at the very end add in the dark green ends of the scallions that we chopped up earlier. And then at the very end of cooking, just taste the noodle to see if it needs any salt. I didn't have to add any because my chili oil already contains salt, and it really depends on the variety of chili oil that you have. But if you do find that your noodles need a bit of salt, you can add a splash of soy sauce or a little bit of sea salt into the noodles as well. To serve these noodles, I just like to place them onto a large serving plate and then drizzle them with a little bit more chili oil. You can eat these noodles on their own, or you can serve it with a little bit of blanched bok choy or choy sum like I did here. And there you have it, my recipe for chili oil noodles. This recipe comes together in under 10 minutes and is perfect for any night of the week, but it's also fancy enough to serve for Lunar New Year this year. And that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button down below, as well as the red subscribe button for more delicious recipe videos just like this one. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram for more recipe inspiration, and check out my food blog for more delicious Lunar New Year recipes. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.